Hi, my name is Alvin Matthews. I'm the National Marketing and Sales Manager here in IHNA. I've got one of my trainers here. Hi, what's your name?
Ewald and I am the National Course Coordinator for HSA. Okay?
What's your full name again?
Ewald.
Oh, okay. Ewald is enough, okay? Hi.
Okay, let me tell you something, right? Back in 1989 when I started at this place called Lineker, and I was there on agency for 2 weeks, right? And I was introduced to the theatre manager, because I did anaesthetics back then as well. And the theatre manager said, "Hello, what's your name?" And I said, "My name's Ewald." And they said, "Huh?"
They didn't get that name?
"My name's Ewald." And she goes, "My God, what the hell is that? We can't call you that here. From now on, you'll be called Wally."
Wally.
It was like that for 9.5 years.
So what do I call you? Ewald or Wally?
Ewald's fine, okay?
Fair enough, okay.
So, what do you want?
Need to know about what is Ewald. About what you do. All right, let's get into this.
Let's get into this.
All
okay.
Right. Now, in which course you are teaching?
I'm doing Health Services Assistant Certificate 3.
Nice. And how long have you been in this industry for?
I've been in health services industry for about 43 years.
43 years?
43 years. I started back in 1985.
Okay.
And I started at St George's Hospital, a very small little hospital in Kew. Worked my way up, then we did anaesthetics, did the anaesthetic course, worked my way up from there. Worked in some big major hospitals, Prince Henry's. Then went over to Freemasons, Epworth. I've worked in about 43 hospitals around the state. Okay. And I've been managing hospitals for about 15-20 years and been in education for about 15 years.
Wow, you got experience similar to my age. That's great. Glad to see that we've got a really good experienced person here in IHNA to teach our students. Okay, so you told me about you are teaching Certificate 3 Health Service Assistants. Can you tell me a bit more about what is this course? What is this course?
Well, the course is all about quality, duty of care, making sure that the actual patients are being cared for, skill mix, scope of practice, making sure that the students are in alignment with the standards, that they are in alignment with the policies and procedures of the actual facility, and also to making sure that they apply the appropriate infection control, work health safety, and the fundamental aspects of quality of learning and patient assistance.
So when you talk about if they work in hospitals, and what is the difference between they work in a hospital and in other settings, like let's say community service settings? Okay,
so some of the hospitals are actually acute care, so that they are able to attend to patients from an acute high perspective, where with the community services or aged care facilities, it's more as in relation towards like a palliative particular type of setting, or either hands-on as in relation towards quality of care, because in an aged care facility they need more hands-on, and so they're sort of like a little bit more vulnerable, so the students are able to look at the skill mixes for what they've learned and apply that in that setting.
So when they go to placements, you go with them, or how it works?
Okay, so what happens is, it's like every other facility when you firstly start, is you need orientation.
Okay.
So I attend the orientation at the facility. So like if we ended up taking them to Brunswick Private Hospital, I go there and I introduce them to management. I show them around the facility.
Let me ask you a funny question. What's the most funniest part in your part of this course when you go to the placements? Like I know they struggle a lot when they go to the placement, first of all, right? So
I would say knowing that you preempt in something that's going to happen to them, and then you try and avoid that, but you can't, and you want them to figure out for themselves, because that's the only way of them learning, but then you don't want to see them fail. Is that because they don't know what they're doing at the start of it? I think when they know that somebody is watching them, like the teacher, that they're a little bit scared and hesitant and saying, "Oh no, he's here again." He's here again, he's watching me. But that's all it's a learning process, and making mistakes is a learning process, and it makes them stronger, it makes them more alert, and also open to feedback and criticism, saying, okay, look at it from this perspective. This is what you should be doing. I know that this is what they do, but what they do is what you should be doing different.
Do you have a real-time experience in the scenarios which you can share?
As in what I
Yeah,
as for what I've experienced.
Yeah, when you go to the placements with them.
Well, not, I wouldn't say as for a real-time experience of going on to placement, but I dropped something on a surgeon's foot once, and that was exciting.
Okay. And then what happened?
I was removed.
That's when you go, not what the hospitals.
Nah, I actually don't. I just think that I just like to see the difference that this makes in students.
Okay.
I like to see them excel. I like to see them thrive.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have made people cry. All right, I have. I find myself very strict and straightforward to the point, but I also like to see the reward at the end of it. And people have come up and saying, you broke me, you made me cry, but I like to thank you for that because now I'm a manager at a hospital.
Yeah.
So that shows me that yes, there is room there for me as in relation towards possibly being a little bit more lenient. But then at the second time, I see students being able to grab it and make it their own and see them excel with that.
Okay. So they'll be thankful at the end.
That's the most rewarding part for me. And then knowing that they used to be former students and now they can now do is for what I'm doing.
Yeah. Talking about the classes before they go for the placement or SPAs, how's the classes works?
The classes are blended learning.
Okay.
So it's all done online, and some are able to come onto campus, especially when it is simulated based assessments. So we've got our own labs here, and they are able to show us or showcase their skills as for what they have. It is supervised by the trainer or course coordinator or educator, making sure that they are competent in all areas. It could be a mix of different cultures of students where they've got different abilities and they're able to feed off from each other and also practice on each other, which is all part of the assessment training program.
Okay, so they learn the courses mostly online. So you said is it like a morning session or evening session?
It's morning session, afternoon session, and then also evening session.
When the classes are online, so you mean anyone from anywhere in Australia can get into the course, right?
Oh, they can if they are registered, yes. If they've gone through the orientation process and the induction process, yes, they can. They are all sent a link, and we go through whatever is on the actual subjects on the timetable. The attendance is done. It's also recorded for students if they want to do a bit of a playback. And we always encourage engagement and just fluent participation.
Okay. So what can you tell to a student who never heard about this course or never heard about IHNA, for example, or for this course? What's your best advice to them?
My advice to them is to get in contact with us. Speak to the people involved. Ask them to speak to a specific person that's leading this particular program. See where their mindset is at. The course has to be right for them, but only them, not that they're doing it for the sake for other people. And if it is right for them, we are able to choose the right course. If not, we are able to choose other courses as for what we have that fits in their lifestyle. Everyone has got a different lifestyle outside work. How are they? Are they mothers? Are they fathers? Do they have a full-time job? Are they night shift? Are they part-time, casual? Do they live regional? Do they live local? How are they in relation towards IT support? Are they computer savvy? These are all things that we need to analyse, and then it comes down time to the trainer, what reasonable adjustments as for what we can use in relation towards the sessions, illustrative, descriptive, slide presentations and so forth, because some people are very visual.
Any of your students become educators in this field, or?
Yes.
Okay.
My predecessor, who took actually over from me, was a former person, and that person is now a lead educator at another major RTO.
Okay.
Other ones are now theatre managers at other facilities, and so I do keep in touch with them quite regularly to see as to how they're doing. I think it's great. They've chosen a career. The thing about healthcare is that it never sleeps, so it's open all the time, and it's just ever so evolving and changing all the time.
That's good. So, which means it is not they're just working as a HSA. It's a wide range of jobs they can apply for, even for as an educator.
They can apply for leadership, they can apply for management positions, ICU technician if they needed to do that.
Okay.
A lot of people want to get the medical terminology and anatomy up to sleep for pathology. Some of them like to do that for the sake of childhood education.
Okay.
So it can open up many doors. But it all depends on the student.
Okay.
We open up the door.
Okay.
The person has to walk the door is the one that wants to lead them to success.
Okay.
Which is the student.
So there are a wide range of
Yes,
opportunities in front of them based on the course. Yeah. So a lot of them are ended up in nursing as well, right? Because they
some are a lot in nursing. Yes, I went out onto a placement visit this morning to visit a HSA student. Very, very great, and I saw quite a few nursing students here from our campus, which is great to see. And so they're prospering in an area or in a career path that they want to do.
That's great. That's great. Do you have any final messages to our future IHNA students?
Do I have any final message to IHNA students? Every day is not the same. All right. IHNA is here to make a difference and to create a difference in everybody that wants to educate themselves. You're never too old to be educated. There's always room in there for you, and take the challenge and take a risk, reap the rewards.
That's great. That's great. All right, well, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Ewald.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Thanks a lot.